And so there's a teaching from the Rebbe of Komarna that he says like this, and also we're going to see from the Rebbe of Primashlan. So he says, the main intention of prayer is to come to an experience of nothingness. So you're going to tell me, hey, but didn't you just say that it's all about the holy pride? We're going to see. But he says the main purpose of prayer is to come to that experience of nothingness. A heart full of joy. That's the indication of it. So that when you're praying, you're not praying in order to get some sort of spiritual level, some sort of spiritual power, some sort of spiritual benefit. That's not why you're praying. He says just to be happy in the prayer itself. And connect yourself to all the neshamot of Am Yisrael, to all the simple people of Am Yisrael. Don't see yourself, oh, I'm better than this one or that one. No, connect yourself with everyone equally, with one heart, just like them. You're dissolving the sense of separateness and moving into oneness. And he says that this is a segula against inappropriate or strange thoughts that come up in a person's prayer. As we know from a letter that was written by Rabbi Mendele of Primashlan, and these are his words. He says this is a response, a solution to everything when it comes to serving Hashem. He says many people, they cry out and they have this issue, this problem, that it's so difficult for them when they have these strange thoughts and inappropriate thoughts or distracting thoughts that come up in the middle of the prayer or in the middle of serving Hashem. And he says, what is the reason for all that? He says it's because of the lack of humility, because of their pride. So this is just the opposite of what he said. There's holy pride and then there's holy humility, and they're synonymous. It's one state of mind that has these two things in one, pride and humility. So let's see. So he says, now he's speaking about it's because of the pride that all these strange thoughts and inappropriate thoughts and distracting thoughts come up for them in their prayer. Why is that? He says, because that pride, what is the indication of that pride? He says it's a lack of joy in their serving of Hashem, a lack of appreciation of their level in serving Hashem. That's the definition of gava. Inappropriate pride of the klipa, or the aspect of peor, which we said is also inappropriate humility, is an unhappiness, a dissatisfaction, a lack of appreciation for your current level in serving Hashem, or the mitzvah that you currently have. It's not enough for them unless they really get some special level in their spirituality. And because it's not enough for them where they are at, and they're lusting after, they're desperate for some sort of special kavanah or special prayer or special level, that comes from haughtiness. Because you have to be happy in your portion with what you have, even when it comes to your spirituality, to your Torah and your mitzvot. Whether you have a little bit of mitzvot, a little bit of spiritual mastery, spiritual perfection, or a lot. Doesn't matter. Whatever you have, find pleasure in it. Find joy in it. Appreciate it. However, if you're not finding pleasure in where you're at and what you have, and you don't have happiness in it, then that comes from gava. That comes from gadlut. Gadlut is another word for gava. You're looking for you have to be the best of the best. Excuse me, who do you think you are? Appreciate where you're at. Appreciate what you have. You're so great that what you have is not good enough. When people say, I'm not good enough, that comes from pride, from gaiva, of the klipa. Who do you think you are that what you have right now is not good enough? That who you are right now is not good enough? Do you know who you are and what you have? Do you know the power of your mitzvah? Do you know the power of your soul? You see how this is coming together with the humility and holiness and the pride of holiness? They come hand in hand. It's a lack of recognition of the appreciation of our divine power that is the essence of that gaiva, of the klipa, that pride of the klipa. And it's the opposite of awareness of Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was truly aware and appreciative of even the tiniest level in avodat Hashem and connection to Hashem in Torah and mitzvah. And that's why Moshe Rabbeinu is the shepherd who is able to appreciate even the tiniest sheep of his flock. Even the simplest Jew in the world he'd appreciate, because he's able to appreciate the godliness in each and every one of us. That's why he has infinite patience for each and every one of us. And that's the opposite of the peor. The peor sees anything that all that stuff like excrement. It sees other people like excrement. It even sees yourself like an excrement. No appreciation, the lack of appreciation. And so the purpose of prayer is to channel this light of Moshe Rabbeinu. It's holy humility and holy pride in one. And the indication of it is when you're truly happy, when you're really in a place of appreciation and joy, your heart is filled with joy. And that's called lev tov, like we said. Lev tov mirov kol. Write that in big words on your wall. Lev tov mirov kol. A good heart, a heart filled with goodness, from the tremendous abundance of goodness that Hashem has blessed you with. And the only reason why you don't experience that is because of your pride, the gaiva. But humility is appreciation for even the tiniest spark of godliness. And he says, because the person is lacking in that happiness and that pleasure in what they already have, samech, be happy with your portion. Because of that, that's gaiva, that's pride. That's why a person has those distracting thoughts, because those distracting thoughts are an indication that a person is being shoved out of the inner chambers of the spiritual realm. Because every thought of a person is a chamber of consciousness, is a chamber in reality. And if a person is experiencing that thought in a disconnected way, then a person is sent out of the inner chambers. But otherwise, a person can experience in every thought as a chamber of Hashem, or a person, the chambers where Hashem's presence can be experienced in greater and greater ways. And if you want to get into a place that is beyond where you are meant to enter, then you're sent out. The angels don't allow you to enter. Where does that come from? That comes because of your pride. You wanted to move into a chamber that is beyond your place. But when you're able to appreciate the chamber that you are in, then the next chamber is opened up for you. That's the secret. When you're trying to push your way into a chamber that is beyond your place, then you're blocked out of it. But when you're able to appreciate the chamber that you're in, what does it mean appreciate? It means really see the greatness in it, really see the power of what you have, then the next chamber is open up for you. And this is how the secret that we teach in Nevamuna about letting go of your wants, whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. If you let go of wanting it, it will be given to you. Because wanting it, that desperation, that neediness, comes from a lack of appreciation. Lack of appreciation where you're at is an indication of gaiva. And when there's gaiva, that pride, so you're pushing away the light of Hashem. It says that I cannot dwell with a person who has gaiva, who has pride. And the fulfillment of the answer of your prayers is only when you're able to make space for the light of Hashem. So this is how it all ties together. This is how it all connects. So therefore, a person would be sent out of those inner chambers because of his gaiva, until the person is able to let go of all that gaiva. And what is that? That's when you make yourself one with all of Am Yisrael. When you make yourself one, instead of separate, right? Because there's a wanting separateness, wanting separation, wanting to be different than other people, wanting to be better than or even worse than, less than other people. It all comes from this place of separation. But when you let go of wanting separation and you are able to merge with, naturally, become one with the klal, the congregation. That's why it's so powerful to pray with a congregation, to pray with the minyan at the synagogue, because then when you do that, you are in a place of anava, of humility. You're dissolving those walls of separation, which is an indication of separation, is just an indication of me separate from others. Better than or worse than, doesn't matter. Those are the two sides of the peor. Why? Because the peor, like I said, it's the backside of the human, which is separate from the inhabitants of the world. Right? It's the backside, is the separation from settling of the whole world. Then you want to be separate from. You don't become better than that. And so that's the secret here of prayer. To be happy with where you are at, be happy with what you have, and begin to appreciate it to such a degree that your heart is filled with joy and pleasure. Now this is exactly what we spoke about before. When a person, what did we say before in the secret from the Baal Shem Tov about tefillah le'ani ki atov? We said that the secret of prayer is to recognize that all the distracting thoughts that I have in my prayer are all coming from an unmet need, which is a spark of holiness that is in exile. But when I recognize it, the greatest pleasure of all is in the prayer itself, in the word here that I am, and I become immediately very present with that. It's kind of like that person that came and said to the king, all I want is to be able to connect with you and speak with you. And this light that is right here, and this connection that I'm currently experiencing right now with you, Hashem, is more pleasurable, more enjoyable, more powerful, more amazing than anything out there that I could ever hope for. All the financial success and all of the physical success, physical well-being, and all the other, and the cars and the houses, all that stuff in the world that I could ever hope for and wish for and dream for, is nothing compared to the pleasure that I have right now just in this word of prayer. And when you do that, consciousness includes within it all the prayers you can ever pray for. That's tefillah le'ani ki atov. It wraps up all the prayers you can ever hope for, because all the prayers you can ever hope for are immediately manifested through that state of mind. Because you're no longer in a place of wanting, you're in a place of having. Everything that I'm praying for, if I'm praying and I'm recognizing that anything that I'm praying for is secondary to what I already have, then I'm praying from a place of power. I have the answer of all my prayers in the prayer itself as I'm praying it. And what is the answer to all my prayers? The source of all light, the infinite light that is this connection here with Hashem. When I'm able to perceive the pleasure in the connection with Hashem itself, more than anything that I can pray, fa'enu, barachenu, whatever it is, more than all that, then I'm not praying from a place of lap, from a place of din. I'm not praying from a place of judgment energy, from a place of desperation or neediness. I'm praying from a place of having. I'm praying from a place of power, and the tefillah is instantly manifested. I'm praying from a place of simcha, and at the same time there's a reverence of the power that's going on here. The greatness, the king is here. The king in his chamber. I'm right now connecting with the king in his chamber. The chamber is what? Is the words of the prayer. And within the words is the king in his chamber. This is the teaching of the Baal Shem Tov in prayer. Now you see all these teachings that we just said. We said maybe 3 or 4 teachings, how it all fits together and how it all comes together.